Hello everyone, it's Teacher Luis one more time, and in today's video we are going to be talking about possessive apostrophes. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, let's start with this activity. It says, have a go at whispering this tongue twister. It says, Blake's black bike and the boy's broken ball were behind the hall. Now, let's think, whose bike and whose ball? And how do we know this? You can pause the video and then analyze it, and then we'll see the answer. Okay, so the answer is here. The first thing that we have to pay attention to is the apostrophes, because that's what the video is about. So these apostrophes help us understand who owns what, all right? So in the case of Blake apostrophe S, it tells us that the black bike belongs to him. And on the other hand, boys apostrophe only is telling us that the ball belongs to the boys. Okay, now we of course are going to see the explanation in the next slide. So now, of course, these apostrophes mean possession. How do we know, or how do we use it? So basically you know that a possession is an object or thing that is owned by someone. In this example, we have the bag is Harriet's. And look how in here, I don't have anything after the apostrophe S. In the previous slide, you saw Blake apostrophe S, black bike. So the way that we structure this is the person that is the owner is the one that you're going to put the apostrophe and then the S. There are some rules and we're going to see them later. And then the thing that you put in front of it is that thing belongs to the person or the thing that you put the apostrophe S, okay? Now, in this case, in this example, I am already starting the sentence with the bag, okay? Is Harriet's. It's a different order of the words, but I'm talking about the bag. And by putting the apostrophe S in the name Harriet, that makes the bag belong to Harriet, okay? Now, let's continue with the next slide. All right, this presentation is a little bit different. And in this slide, what I want you to do is to go through this passage that we have in here. It's called the teacher's apple. And we use a lot of apostrophe S possession, okay, so that you can practice. So I want you to read through this passage and find out what belongs to who, okay? And the answer is going to be at the very end of the video. But don't cheat. You have to do it first by yourself. Now, knowing where, I already talked to you about where to put the apostrophe S, but sometimes this can be a little bit confusing, okay? Now, we have 3 golden rules, and I want you to pay attention to them. The trick is knowing who possesses the object and then follow the 3 golden rules, okay? That's all you have to do. Let's get into it. Let's start with golden rule number 1. So it says that when we have a singular noun owner, for example, Adam is a name, we add an apostrophe to the word and an S, okay? So we have it in here, Adam plus the apostrophe plus the S, and then we have Adam's eyebrows, okay? So whose eyebrows are they? Well, Adam's, okay? Now, something important that I have to point out in here is that this other part, it says if the person's name ends with S, we add an apostrophe, but we do not to add an extra S, okay? As it looks, of course, quite messy. So for example, for the name James, which ends in S, we would just write James, the name, and the apostrophe, and then the thing that belongs to him or to the person, okay? Whatever it is that ends in S, if that is the owner of the thing or the object, then we just have to add the apostrophe, not the S. Now we go with golden rule number 2. It says when we have a plural noun owner, for example, the students, we add an apostrophe but do not add the extra S, okay? It's the same as I mentioned before. It's just that the previous one, what I pointed out was a name, is singular. In these cases, when, of course, you know that sometimes we make the nouns plural by adding an S. So in this case, we do not need to add the extra S, just the apostrophe. That's it. Now the golden rule number 3 says when we have an irregular plural noun owner, for example, the children, we add an apostrophe to the word and then the S. Okay, in the previous one was the regular plural nouns that we add an S, but sometimes we have plural nouns that are irregular, like the word children, which means many, not only one. So in this case, we do need to add the apostrophe and the S. So we say the children's teacher, okay? In this case, we do it. Look, I have another exercise in here. So I want you to match each sentence to the noun type below and add the apostrophe, okay, in the correct place. So I have singular owner, plural owner, or irregular plural owner. And the answer is going to be in the next slide. Here it is. So did you have it right? If you did, that means that you understood. If you didn't, you can watch the video again or ask your questions to your teacher, okay? So remember that the answers for the first exercise is going to be at the very end of the video. Okay, so this is the end of the video. Remember to complete your assignment in the Google Classroom. Also, remember that if you have any questions, you can ask your teacher on your WhatsApp group, or you can also send me a message to the direct Plymouth phone number. I will reply to your questions if you have any as soon as I can. And remember also that the answer key for the first exercise of the video is after this. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful rest of your day.